All right, I just picked up a brand new Stihl MS261C. This is the first M-tronic saw that I've owned, and I was surprised that it doesn't have your standard choke configuration that I'm used to. So I had to have the dealer teach me how to start it, run through the differences here. It's pretty simple. Let's go through that real quick. So, no choke, but it's very similar. You're going to pull the trigger, push that down while holding it down, let go of the trigger, and it's going to hold it there, which is going to give it kind of like a higher idle to help it start, is how I feel it is. It's got a decompression valve. We'll give it a few pulls and it should start. It's cold right now. And once you pull the trigger, you push that up to stop it, and it just springs back to the on position, so you don't have to remember to turn your saw on. It's always on, which is kind of nice. So that's how to start it. I was going to run through the chain here real quick and show you some differences between this and the saw I used to run. So these are going opposite directions of each other, but I wanted to try and show the difference in width between the cutters on this side here and the cutters on this side. So this chain is a 3/8 pitch 063 gauge. And this is a .325 pitch 0.05 gauge. So the pitch, you take these rivets here and you go 3 of them, and you take that distance and you divide it by 2. And what you're trying to do there is, if you can tell, these 2 rivets between the outer links that's on the inner link are closer together than these 2. So it's an inaccurate measurement to take the distance from one rivet to the next. But if you take 3 and divide it, it gives you the average, which is 0.325. And if you can see, this up here is 3/8 and it's bigger. The next number is the gauge. And I'll show you on this chain here, this drive link right here that runs down in the groove on the bar. It's the width of that. But the key to that is that that link is up here as well, in the middle. So it's wider than these links on this one. Having a hard time getting this to focus, especially with 2 things to focus on. So what happens is the pitch is smaller and the gauge is smaller, which decreases the tooth size, which decreases the overall kerf of how much wood this saw needs to remove when I'm using it. I bought this saw when I climb a tree and I limb it and I'm coming back down and I'm chunking that tree down. I wanted this saw because its power to weight ratio is great. It's a pro saw. The build pieces in it are good to make it be able to run steady all day long and last. So I wanted the right chain for what I was going to use it for. So another difference, if you look on this chain, it has a raker on the front of the cutting tooth, but it has another humped raker that's on the drive link in between. And so when that chain goes around the tip of the bar, those separate a little bit, and it keeps this chain from kicking. So they're nice and lined up here, and they spread out as they go around the bar because one is connected between these links and the other is connected. One is connected between these links and the other is connected between these links. So they spread apart as they go around the tip of the bar. The problem with that is while it makes it safer, it's more drag going through the wood and it's more weight that the power head has to pull. So I didn't want that. So if you notice, this saw only has the one raker, not two. So I used it once, performed well, should serve me good for a long time. But if you're wanting a powerful small saw that's light and has the pro features, this is it. I wanted to check real quick here and see the weight difference between the two saws, the one I've been using and this one. So let's take a look. Looks like we can see that on the camera there. Let's start with the old saw, Stihl 036. 17.34 pounds. And these both have 20-inch bars. And here's the 261. 14.35. So 3 pounds lighter. Pretty impressive. So I thought I'd look up the specs real quick before I ended this video. Using that saw, I felt like it was just about the same power-wise, but it does feel lighter. The chain's brand new, so it was pretty grabby. So I knew it was cutting sharp. But the 036 is a 61.5 cc's, and the 261 is 50.2 cc's. So it's actually a little smaller. The 036 has 4.88 horsepower, and the 261 is rated at 4.10. So this does have about 0.7 horsepower more, but it's old and worn out. Both of them are I shouldn't say worn out. It's old. Maybe doesn't have its original performance. Runs pretty good still. But for me and what I'm doing, I'll sacrifice that little bit of horsepower for the 3 pounds in weight savings that's going to be hanging on me while I'm climbing a tree. So just a little comparison for two saws that I have.